Alex with Green Revolution again. We have the great opportunity to be with Mayor Birkner of Westwood, New Jersey, and we're going to go ahead and walk around the Westwood Dog Park and the beautiful athletic fields here as we talk about how fiscal conservation and environmental conservation often are one and the same. So, Mayor, without further ado, could you please introduce yourself, how you get into politics, and sort of tell us about the green initiatives you've been piloting in Westwood.
All right, well, thanks a lot. It's great to be here. I appreciate the invite. Thanks for coming down to Westwood Park. This is really our crown jewel in Westwood. This was the inspiration for me to run. This park is the site of a former municipal landfill.
I never knew that.
So we capped this landfill, and for decades it was basically an environmental squaw.
This used to be a landfill.
This was a municipal landfill. This is where all your garbage came. Huh. And we reclaimed this land. And our kids had no places to play sports. Our fields, our facilities were horrible. So that was my inspiration to run for mayor.
That's awesome.
I wanted to build a recreation facility, but not just for sports. I wanted it to be a facility that our residents of all ages would enjoy. And that's what we have here. So we've reclaimed the landfill. We've built this park. We've got softball fields. We've got multi-purpose, football, soccer, lacrosse, baseball. We've got a playground, which is fully ADA compliant. So any kids with special needs have access to that park.
ADA playground compliant. You got a walking trail, any sort of sport field you want. Ages 0 to
fully lit.
Yeah, fully lit. That's right.
We're fully lit. We've got a park. We've got a dog park. We have a community garden, which we're going to show you in just a few minutes.
Awesome.
We've got a gorgeous walking path that cuts through the woods and goes through to Pasco County Park. We've created, in so doing, we've created 110 acres of active and passive recreation. So 110 acres of active and passive. So you can, again, anyone with special needs or with accessibility issues can now walk through the woods. They can go fishing. It's just just sit by the brook and read a book. Just have some quiet time. This park was built for people from 8 months to 88 years old and older because everything is here.
Yeah, we've gone a lot to the 2 dog parks here, and we've never seen another dog park and show art of the dog parks like this. But it's pretty. I don't want to say advanced or progressive, but it's pretty awesome. They have a small dog park and a large dog park.
Yeah, I think that's pretty typical.
So that's like just another thing, and so that's awesome. So let's take a look at the community garden, and so how much garbage was here? What kind of garbage was here, and where did it go? Is it biodegrading beneath us? Like talk to us about
it is. Yeah, it's a typical 1900s municipal landfill.
Okay.
I mean, most towns had their own landfills. That's what they did. Before it started to, you started to reach a critical mass, and you had to do something.
So about what year was that?
Closed,
they closed
the viewers here. Back in the 70s.
Okay.
They closed the landfills and started bringing it. Most of Bergen County's garbage started going down to like Lyndhurst and North Arlington to the Kingsland landfill. You had, the Meadowlands area, right? All those big landfills down at Kearney, etc.
Yeah.
So anyway, so right now all that garbage is basically decomposing under us. We've had it filled, we've had it covered, we've had it capped, we've had it lined, and we built the park on top of it.
Great.
And so like I said, we wanted to include as many components as we could that would be for any use, any type of use. And we have all kinds of activities here. We do a running race every year on Father's Day for the Sergeant Christopher Herbeck Scholarship Fund, who's a local Marine who was killed in Afghanistan. So we really, we make this is a community park all the way around. So we're doing a lot of different events. We do a lot of things here. We're starting to talk about maybe doing like a community camp out night. Things that we can truly incorporate.
Truly attracting future residents, right? The millennials to come move in and purchase a house, right?
Absolutely. Well, this is very attractive. Actually, this is in real estate terms. This is a place that realtors bring people, and they're bringing people to come look at Westwood. They bring them down here.
Because here, look at all you're going to have.
That's right.
Not just a town pool or something. This is you have, you have parks, you have fishing, you have beautiful wildlife over here. And I want to rewind for a second because I know you're an expert, or at least you know a lot more than I do as far as landfills. Cap, lining, and filling. Can you explain that to our viewers? What does that entail? What does that mean? And what is below us? Is it? Most of recycled materials out, presumably, or no?
Back in the old days, there was no recycling.
So we're talking tin cans. We're talking metal. We're talking chicken bones, everything is down there.
You know, you go down there. When we're digging out for the lights and everything, you get the old Valentine cans and bottles and pop tops. There's a lot of glass, cans, bags, you name it. Washing machines, bicycles, you name it, it's in here. That's what municipal solid waste was. Anything that was thrown away was brought here. So we're standing on it. A lot of it's decomposing, a lot of it's shifting, but for the most part, things have been compacted, and that's why we're able to build on top of it. And now what we've done is we've had to clay line it. So clay line. So it's 2 feet of clay. And then there's soil on top of that, because what you don't want to happen is you don't want rainwater to leach through a landfill, because then that extracts heavy metals and other components from
that leachate as well.
And the leachate, it produces leachate, which then we have the Pascack Brook running along, and we don't want leachate running into the Pascack Brook.
Real quick, what is leachate for our viewers that don't know?
Leachate's basically a soup that's,
garbage soup.
It's garbage soup is what happens. It's from the rainwater. So we have a very detailed drainage system throughout these fields. So all these athletic fields have, if you're going to build athletic fields right, you have to have drainage and irrigation. That's the key to success. That's why you can see our grass is so beautiful. We're not using chemical fertilizers. We're using natural. So using organic material, recycled material, compost, etc. But why it looks so good is because we have drainage and irrigation. Now, of course, a day like today, we're getting plenty of natural irrigation, which is great. But we have a drainage system, and the drainage system is wonderful because it takes the water off the field, so it allows the fields to be used sooner after a rainstorm. And then the irrigation, of course, is great because you need to maintain a certain degree of moisture for the grass to grow healthy. And if you look at it, it's very, very healthy.
This is great.
We just cut yesterday. I think we just cut it. We cut every Thursday. But we have. This is lined. It's capped. It's perfectly safe. It's completely safe. We built a beautiful concession stand and restroom facility with storage shed. We've got it all. And, over here is our community garden.
Yeah, let's come take a look at this garden.
You gotta see it.
And, a lot of northern New Jersey towns I can see, using the Westwood model as something to replicate. They want to replicate success and then, progressive, financially conservative, program. Here's the community garden. We're using an old landfill. I can't wait to even talk about the other really progressive green initiatives. Not even green initiatives, financial initiatives you've done in the past regarding what you put in the DPW truck. So, and it's just a great place to be.
Yeah. So right here, we've got all these different beds, and over here I think it looks like we've got some broccoli growing. Somebody's got broccoli over here. Somebody's got tomatoes. A lot of tomato plants. Herbs, you've got flowers. Somebody, on the other side has just, wildflowers that they cultivate.
Compost bins, you see.
These are the compost bins on the side.
Yeah.
And what we have here are solar-powered water tanks for irrigation.
It's alternative energy. Speaking of alternative energy and with these cold and solar panels, what do you think about solar? Residential solar, municipal solar?
Listen, it's great.
Yeah.
There it is. It's in the
free
sky.
energy. Well, not free, but it's a lot cheaper than coal.
It's in the sky every day. So why shouldn't we use it?
Yeah.
How can we capture it? What can we do for renewable energy sources? Right? I would really like to incorporate some wind power down here because we have these poles.
Look at these. You can only, I'm not saying you can make them into wind turbines, but you have plenty of space.
You could put small micro turbines that can be installed.
That would be awesome.
So we, as a whole, as a nation, we really need to be exploring renewable energy as opposed to destroying our earth and digging for coal, for the whole fracking thing just blows my mind. I just can't even. I don't even understand why we would risk take those risks to the
potential
environment.
earthquakes and poisoning the water that
water
people drink.
It's finite. Our resources are finite, so why not utilize renewable sources?
And as long as you have 5 meters per second of wind speed, you can be producing electricity. right?
So,
and as you said, even I think there's a misconception out there for any Westwood residents or any residents in general that you need to have sun all year long. You can be in Florida to have solar. Well, here's the best way that Elon Musk said it. You know, if you look at a country, is it green? Look at Europe, Northern Europe, Ireland. It's green. Why? Because the photosynthesis is happening. The photosynthesis is happening. You can get solar panels cheap. You know, they're cheap, they're clean, and they look beautiful. They have really progressive solar panels and companies out there that make the roofs look better.
yeah.
And there's still a 30% investment tax credit.
Yeah, it would be interesting. It's you know, the problem that we get in municipalities is you get governing bodies that are reluctant to make that initial capital outlay. And some that just don't believe in it.
Right.
You
Or
know
have
what?
invested interest in it. Or do
Politics-
a generational difference in it.
Politics plays a part of it.
Right.
And, you know, it's political ideologies. There are people who just, you know, don't go with it.
Right.
You know, I don't know what to say. I mean,
Yeah.
you can only beat the drum so much.
Yeah, right. Right, you gotta take action.
And you know, it's about taking action. It's about getting the votes to do it and getting people to buy in. But we're doing some neat things here. Like I said, this community garden is great. You can see some of these tomatoes are really bursting out. They're getting ready. I see some nice red ones over there. So
Right.
you know, it's
And what exactly does a solar panel do? What's the purpose? Is it pump it? Is it?
the solar panel powers the pump, so that when people can use the hose and irrigate their garden plot.
That's wonderful.
So like today, obviously we don't need it, so we're getting the free rain here.
Right. No, that's wonderful. All right. So, first of all, this is amazing. I had no idea about the landfill we're standing on. Now it's a beautiful park. Can you talk to us about the initiative you started almost a decade ago or more, Mayor, where you've been taking recycled vegetable oil and using it to power your fleet of trucks with the DPW?
Yeah, well, about 8 years ago, I was able to acquire a waste oil centrifuge that was originally meant for recycling oil on transatlantic ships. Okay, so it came about this through my work, and we were able to refurbish this centrifuge. And what we do is we use it right here at the DPW, and we collect oil from local restaurants, local hospitals, schools, from the fryer-laters, and we take that waste oil and we run it through the centrifuge, so we clean it, so it removes all the particulates, and it removes the water. So it separates the water from the oil, separates the particles from the oil. So now we've got clean vegetable oil, which we then mix with our diesel fuel, about a 50-50 mix in the summertime, and we run our recycling trucks. Awesome. So that to me was the ultimate recycling project.
Yeah.
It was our recycling vehicles that were going out picking up recyclables were being run on recycled vegetable oil. It was really cool.
That's
stuff.
awesome. That's
and
awesome.
that was produced from a recycled waste oil centrifuge.
All in town. Oh yeah, the centrifuge itself.
The
used to be
centrifuge
on the
itself
transatlantic
was-
ships, and now it's recycled.
So we
That's
recycled it.
True.
So we
Yeah.
repurposed that.
The first, that's what the first, like the 3 arrows in the recycling loop, reuse, reduce, recycle. Reduce, reuse.
That's right. So that's what we did. So we repurposed that piece of equipment, which is absolutely just huge. And back when we started, you know, diesel fuel was about $4.50 a gallon. So we were saving a ton of money.
A ton of taxpayers' money.
ton of taxpayers' money. Now, and you know, the benefits to the environment were, you know, there's so many layers to it. You know, we're not using the fossil fuel movement. We're not relying on foreign sources for oil. We're reducing the carbon emissions because the vegetable oil burns cleaner than the diesel fuel.
Vegetable oil burns cleaner than diesel fuel.
So the output, our carbon footprint is reduced. So we're really, you know, it's really full circle. So that was a really fun project. And some of the other things we've done is utilize hybrid vehicles in our police department and our DPW. We use it for our fire inspectors. So people who are driving around town doing city driving, the hybrid vehicles are the perfect vehicles for it. So, you know, anything we could do to reduce our impact, we were doing. So it's just, you know, it's just a different way of thinking. You know, you have to think about where you live and you know, maintaining a quality and healthy environment. You have to think about what you're putting into the air. You have to think about what we're putting into the groundwater.
Where you want to live. Like you want to live in a community that has fresh air, fresh groundwater, a clean, beautiful park, community garden, you know, air that you can, you know, breathe cleanly and energy. Hopefully the residents watching this in Westwood will say, you know what? Yeah, I'll think about getting a solar quote. I have nothing to lose. I might be paying $120 a month on electric. Maybe I can go a lot less and get a locked-in green rate.
Absolutely.
You know? So, yeah, thank you so much for your time. And any, you know, my speech and everything, any advice for people out there that want to get into politics? You know, whether it's a local level, whether it's a state or a national level, but specifically local. Because obviously, I mean, I read an article once that was like how mayors change the world, and it's like how you're powerful enough and you're influential enough to be, you know, when you're a mayor of a city or a town, to be, you know, to have that sort of, you know, that influence. Yet at the same time, you're still connected enough to the average everyday American. You know, people as opposed to being a senator or someone that's like they might be so detached. You know what I mean? So,
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm a working guy. I've got kids that go to school. And, you know, when I started in politics, I represented a labor union professionally for many years, and I was involved in the political arena through that work. But how I really got started in politics was I really didn't like what was going on in my town. And, you know, there's the old saying is all politics are local.
Right.
And it's true. Now, I don't like what's going on the national level right now, but really I encourage people, if you have a strong feeling, one way or another, get involved on the local level because you do make a difference, because that's where the voice starts. And, you know, you think about it, you want to elect people who share your core values and share your goals. And if you're not being represented, well, guess what? If you have those, get out there, roll up your sleeves, and run for office on a local level. I would love people to run, you know, get council people who share my core values, and share my goals. You know, I've had the opportunity to work with some really great people over the 10 years that I've been mayor.
And specifically, when you do run for local offices in this kind of time, it is volunteer typically? Or
Yep.
then eventually you get some sort of stipend?
No, it's the
real deal. You're doing it for the community, make sure you have financial house in order, and then run for office.
Well, even that, you know, it's tough. I mean, I got 2 kids in college, so it's not easy. You got to spend time, but you know what? It's something that you're doing. You're giving back to the community that you love, and that's really important. And you are making a difference. You know, I like to think that in the 10 years that I've been doing this, I believe that I have made a difference. And you know, at what level, you know, it's not up to me to say. Time will tell. But you know, and then there'll be the time to step aside, because you know, like what I always tell people is there were 25 mayors before me. I'm number 26 in Westwood, and there'll be 25 after me. So, you know, you have to be ready to, you have to understand that you do need to pass the baton, because we need people to keep coming in. So we need, you know, we want more people to come in and be involved. But it's not just even in elected office, but you can be in our volunteer boards, you know, the planning board, the zoning board, the advisory board, the senior citizen advisory board. We have an environmental